Hello Scotch fans, thank you for clicking on this Fun with Pete and Sherry video. I am your host Mr. Julian, and today I am doing a double header as I promised you last week. I'm going to be doing a double header on monster scotches. The name of the show is Fun with Pete and Sherry, and I've been doing reviewing all these delicate scotches the last few weeks with none or hardly any of either of those things in it. So it's time for that to come to an end. And here in part one of the double header, we're going to be starting with the Peat Monster. And we have a truly raging, bona fide monster for you here today. It's not Bruichladdich Octomore, which you may have heard is the most heavily peated Scotch, but it's a Scotch I find to give you every bit as big a smack in the mouth, if not an even bigger one, for reasons I will go into. I am talking about this fellow, Ardbeg Corryvreckan. Now, Ardbeg Corryvreckan is named after a big whirlpool they have in the between the islands there, off the coast of Islay. The water rushes between the islands here, and at some point there's a place where the water goes from being very shallow to very deep. This creates all kinds of wild disturbances in the surface of the water. You can see them online. Very interesting stuff. It's been around a long time, and as they say on the bottle, that it was this thunderous seething cauldron is named for Viking Prince Breckan, who perished there, proving his devotion to the daughter of the Lord of the Isles. Okay, of course, other legend suggests that he did not perish, but in fact lives beneath the waves to this day. Well, in any case, to be named for this ship-breaking natural disturbance, a Scotch has got to be pretty powerful, and this one is. First of all, you've got Ardbeg's peatiness. Generally, they start with their barley at about 55 ppm before they make the whiskey. That comes down a bit during production, of course, and it also continues to go down in the bottle. It continues to go down in the barrel after the Scotch has been distilled, and that's why you find older Scotches which are heavily peated. You can taste the peat, and it's still heavy peat, but something about the peat is not as sharp and fiery and dangerous seeming as it is when it's young. And when you get a peaty whiskey served no age statement such as this is, you can guess they're probably giving you some young stuff in order to really bring out some power. Another thing this has going for it, and that's making it so intense, is its use of new oak in the production. New oak adds a sappiness, a rough edge to a Scotch. It can also give it a sort of a woody coconut-like flavor, but it all depends on how aggressive you're going to get. Most new oak is left out in the sun for a couple of years. That makes the tanniny flavors kind of work out of it, but you can get a little more aggressive depending on how you want to push the envelope, and I think they've done that here. Finally, this is served at 57.1% alcohol. That is very, very strong. Strong cask strength. They didn't call it cask strength, but that's pretty much what you're getting here. Extremely, extremely powerful stuff. Let's just go ahead and see what we got going on here. This smells like maybe a couple of trucks carrying Ardbeg have smashed into each other on the highway and burst into flames. Okay. You note I'm not pouring myself a great deal of this. There's no need for that. Little medicine. Far off Listerine. Citrus, lemon. Not exactly smoky, but there's definitely something powerful going on down there. All right, final test. Wow. Grab hold of something before you do that, friends. That is a smack in the mouth. Absolutely incredible. This tastes to me even more oaky than it does smoky. The oak, the tanniny taste of this is very strong, and fortunately it goes very well with the Ardbeg sort of heavier mineral-like spirit. So you've got stone and wood together here, and the sweet smoke running through the middle of it. Wow! Oh my goodness! I did a review of a Scotch Lafroig's quarter cask, and that was an immense kick in the face. This is far beyond that. This is being wrestled to the ground and pummeled into unconsciousness. Add a drop of water here. Maybe more than a drop. Remember, when you're adding water to strong scotches like this, some scotch is served at 40% alcohol. That does not mean you need to bring your high alcohol content down as far as that. The water is not to dilute, it is to open. And what that means is you're going to taste things that you don't otherwise, because the molecules with all that alcohol in there just kind of get jammed together, and they're trapping certain elements. It takes a minute for that reaction to completely happen. So let's wait a minute, shall we? Ooh, okay, added water, and Corryvreckan is still not playing nice, folks. This is not a scotch for the faint-hearted. This is a scotch for those who've had put down every scotch that they were told were intense before and said, it's not enough, it's not enough. Well, if this ain't enough for you, I don't know what's going to be enough. This is incredibly powerful tasting. Smack. Definitely something has changed with the water. Now there's a cool mint that comes in, about halfway through the experience and sort of dominates the tail end of it. The mint is sort of very pleasant. It maybe draws some of the diverse elements in this scotch together a bit more, because in some ways this scotch is it's so powerful tasting, and there's just so many powerful flavors in there. It hasn't really found its center yet, I don't think. It's so it's not a perfect scotch by any means, but it's very much worth it for people who like a big, powerful Islay experience. my sense is what happened was that there was maybe sort of a rivalry between Laphroaig and Ardbeg. Ardbeg 10-year-old started getting a lot more press and accolades, I think, than Laphroaig 10, and so the folks at Laphroaig probably asked themselves, how do we how do we get on the other side of that and get some of that over to ourselves? So they went even further in the direction that Ardbeg had gone with their Laphroaig quarter cask, trying to bring in some Ardbeg sweetness and some intensity, which they added through the new oak. And I think they were extremely successful in doing that. Laphroaig quarter cask is still my very favorite expression from Laphroaig. What this seems to me to be is Ardbeg's answer to that. Ardbeg saying back to Laphroaig, okay, so you guys want to take the gloves off? You want to get rough? You want to steal our thunder? Well, we'll steal it back from you. This is Ardbeg's going even further in the same direction and creating something of incredible power. As an answer to Laphroaig's quarter cask, this is well, it's more sappy and more tanniny, which is very interesting. It's not quite as sweet and creamy. It's also served at cask strength, making it just a walloping, smacking crack over the head with a beautiful mace. I'm going to give Ardbeg Corryvreckan an 8.2, and you can go on to the second part of the doubleheader now if you wish. That will be the Sherry Monster. Thank you.